Rochester College leading the State University of New York at Canton 12-9. We just had a power outage actually inside the CARC here at SUNY Canton. Caught everyone by surprise, and it's about a 10-minute delay. We should resume volleyball activities real quickly. And we actually, in the other building at Dana Hall, there was actually power out at Dana Hall as well, as Damon was leading Claremont 1-0 in the series and 14-13 in game 2 at the time of the outage. And we're set, though, to get back underway. It's tremendously windy outside here in Canton, New York, and that could have been the reason for the outage. But nonetheless, we're ready to get back to more volleyball. Warriors serving to the Kangaroos. Breyer with the set, and the Warriors able to get that back over the net. Morgan Bills gets it over, setting up for the attack. Well dug out by the Kangaroos. Jessica Reynolds tries to bloop it over the head of Merrill Cunningham, but the line judge rules that it's out of bounds, point to the Warriors. Alexander serving. Carroll has to dig this out, and Morgan Bill's able to get back over the net. The setup for the attack well blocked by Morgan Bills. Jessica Reynolds tries to attack, and an illegal hit called against the Warriors as Kayla Lepp checks back in for Brittany Alexander. 13-10 Warriors lead. Once again, SUNY Canton already has clinched a spot in the elimination rounds of the USCAA tournament. Rochester College would clinch if they win. If they lose, though, the winner of Rochester College and Johnson and Wales University later on Friday would move on, and the loser would have to head on home early. Lindsey Breyer with the diving dig attempt, but the point goes to the Warriors as they make a few more substitutions. Number 13, Brianna Poloni, and number 21, Vicky Laframboise check in for Merrill Cunningham and Paige Tenbrink. Laframboise will serve for the Warriors, who lead 14-10. Minter tried to dump that over the defense, and Alexa St. Suve on the attack gets it over the outstretched arms once again of Morgan Bills and Mackenzie Minter along that Kangaroos front line. 15-10 Rochester leads, and her serve just hits inbounds in the corner of the Kangaroos side of the court. Timeout called by head coach Carol LaMarche on the Kangaroos bench as the Warriors have raced out to a 16-10 lead over the Kangaroos. And don't forget, fans, you can capture all the memories and highlights from this national tournament on high-quality video and audio commentary. All matches are available for purchase from Tourbeau Sports. Head over to our website at www.tourbeausportsgroup. That's www.tourbeausports group to learn more. Head coach David Crump of the Warriors, his Warriors team has some great familiarity with many of the teams in this USCAA tournament. Once again, both these teams in the Pool B bracket. Pool A play going on in Dana Hall. Both facilities, both here at the CARC and Dana Hall across campus with power outages. It must have been a campus-wide outage as the Warriors unable to keep that in bounds, as the Kangaroos will get a point. Emily Thomas checks in for Jessica Reynolds on the Kangaroos. Down 16-11. Very, very windy outside of the CARC here in Canton, New York. as Laframboise is hit. Can't get over the net. Another point goes to the Kangaroos. Emily Thomas helping Johnson Wales, who's warming up on the other courts. Coming up after this game, it'll actually be Florida College and Lindenwood Belleville. Alexa Saint-Suve can't get that hit over the net. And the Kangaroos have trimmed Rochester's lead to 3 points. Set up for Poloni, well dug out by Thomas. Minter sets up Cornish, well blocked though by the Warriors front line. Now Hayes setting up Saint-Suve, and it's a good block right there by Kelsey Cornish, but goes out of bounds on the Kangaroos sideline. Another point to the Warriors. And coming up right after this will be Florida College and Lindenwood University at Belleville. Both those teams have clinched spots in the elimination rounds of the tournament. Florida College 2-0, Lindenwood Belleville 2-1. Another point to the Warriors, 18-13. They lead over the Kangaroos. Alexa Saint-Suve to serve. Morgan Bills with the dig. And Brianna Poloni with the excellent block and finds an open gap on the Kangaroos front line. Another timeout called by head coach Carol LaMarche on the Kangaroos sideline. Warriors lead 19-13 over the Roos, and they lead in this series so far 1-0. Once again, SUNY Canton, they've already clinched a spot in the elimination rounds of the tournament. They're really playing for seeding, though, in the elimination rounds of the tournament. Once again, how this works here, the USCAA, 5 teams in each pool. The top 4 teams from each pool advance on to the elimination rounds on Friday evening. Games will continue all the way through this weekend on Saturday, and we will have a national champion. It could be Damon College once again for the second consecutive year. It could be Florida College for the 4th time in the last 5 years. Or we could have a new winner. Mary Grove College looks good. UC Claremont and Carlow University both won some games. Rochester and SUNY Canton have both won a couple games. Lindenwood Belleville has been impressive. A wide open tournament here in Canton. As we resume play, Poloni with the excellent block. Good recovery though by Minter. And Lindsay Lepek. An excellent job along that front line again for the Warriors, and they have their largest lead as they lead by 7 over the Kangaroos. Minter sets up Bills. Thomas tries to dig it out. Excellent effort as Breyer is able to return that volley. And then Lepek tried to get the attack. Morgan Bills, though, the All-American with the block. Substitutions being made for the Kangaroos as Brianna Ng checks in for Bills. Hayes sets up Poloni with a little dink, well dug out by Breyer. Cornish with the attack, and it goes out of bounds right near the feet of the line judge. Morgan Bills checks back in for NG. And Robin Carroll also checking in for the Roos. 21-14 Warriors lead in the driver's seat to sweep this series away from the Kangaroos. An excellent job again by Sarah Hayes. You could just tell she has a knack for finding the open spaces in the front line of the opposing defensive units. As Lep's serve doesn't get over the net. Point to the Kangaroos, down 22-15. And right there, Mackenzie Minter's serve doesn't get over and just gives away another point. Substitutions being made for the Warriors as Paige Tenbrink and Meryl Cunningham check back in for Brianna Poloni and Vicky Laframboise. And Carroll able to get the volleyball over the net. Hayes trying to set up her teammate. Well defended though by the Kangaroos, and a point for the Warriors. Sarah Hayes with a nice little dink again over the front line, and it's now game point for Rochester. But Merrill Cunningham's serve goes beyond the end line and out of bounds. Jessica Reynolds checks back in for Emily Thomas for the Kangaroos. Rochester, they win. They advance to the elimination round of the tournament. SUNY Canton just playing for seeding practically. Merrill Cunningham unable to get that dig. Cunningham leads this team with 409 digs this year, and that's good for fourth best in the USCAA, but she probably should have let her teammate Kayla Lepp take that one right there. Cunningham to Hayes, sets up for Tenbrink. Her attack goes out of bounds, and Tenbrink knew that she hit it a little bit too high. And a timeout called on the Warriors sideline by head coach David Crump as the Kangaroos are hanging around. Warriors lead 24-18 over SUNY Canton. And no USCAA team has played more matches this season than Rochester College. Rochester College coming into the tournament, they've played 42 matches this season. They also hosted a tournament earlier this year in mid-September, and they played fellow USCAA tournament teams such as Carlow University, Marygrove College, Penn State Fayette, and Lindenwood Belleville. Finished 2-2 against those teams with wins over Carlow and Lindenwood Belleville. Swept actually Carlow and Lindenwood Belleville. They lost though to Marygrove and Penn State Fayette by scores of 1-3 and 2-3 respectively. Cornish with the serve. Lep to Hayes, sets up Tenbrink. Cornish, Minter sets up Breyer. Dug out by the Warriors. Tenbrink with the attack, Carroll with the dig. Minter returns the volley. And Sarah Hayes was unable to get that over the net, and that's been her specialty so far in this tournament. It results in another point for the Kangaroos. And a vicious attack right there by the Warriors front line. No good, and Jessica Reynolds will get credit for the kill after the failed block attempt by Sarah Hayes. 24-20, Warriors clinging on to a quickly dwindling lead. But the serve by Cornish hits the middle of the net, and that will do it for game two, and that will do it for the series. Rochester College wins game two 25-20 over the Kangaroos, and they take this series over the Kangaroos 2-0. Warriors advancing on to the elimination rounds of the tournament, which means that Johnson and Wales University is officially eliminated from USCAA elimination tournament play. SUNY Canton, of course, has clinched, even though they do drop to 1-2 in pool play. SUNY Canton this year, 27-5, 844 win percentage. It's the best mark among all USCAA teams. They will get their opportunity, though, in the elimination round of the tournament. Coming up next here on the Tourbeau Sports Group Network, we will have Florida College and Lindenwood Belleville. Florida College, the defending national champion runner-ups. A year ago, they've also won the national championships from 2009 through 2011. But we'll be back shortly here on Tourbeau Sports Group Network here in Canton, New York. Stay with us, folks.